Hi everyone, welcome back to Feather Stitch House. My name's Rebecca. Each week on this channel I make videos about embroidery and textile art to help you get creative. We're in week 32 of our Winging It project this year, Pick of the Pots. Each week I take a pick out of my 3 plant pots. The first contains colours, the second contains shapes and the third contains stitches. And we use our picks to inspire a piece of improvised textile art that goes in our little book. We had quite a crazy week last week, so I wonder what we're going to pick today. I'm going to head into my studio and let's get picking.
Here we go again, Pots of Joy. I am going to take a pick. For some reason, this one looks like it's got fewer little slips in than the others, but I think they're just folded better. These are starting to come unfolded, so almost forgot. Right, let's take our pick this week. Peach is our colour, nice and summery. It's nice because I'm getting ready to go to Italy, so peach is going to be something very topical for me. What's our shape? An oval. Oh, okay, so we did an egg shape. An oval is more regular, so same at the top and the bottom, so like a circle that's been squashed in. So that's our shape. And what's our stitch? Star stitch. Oh, that's a nice easy one. Right, I have to have a think about that. That's a really nice easy one. So very straightforward. A bit of a relief after the complexities of Palestrina stitch last week. Star stitch really couldn't be any easier. So we've got peach, oval and star stitch. That's our pick. I wonder what we're going to create. I'm going to demonstrate the stitch. It'll be very quick and then we'll make something. Right, so star stitch, super simple. Right, we're going to come up through the fabric. I hope you can see this okay. I've got a peach coloured thread, but now I'm thinking it doesn't stand out very well, but maybe I'll get a different colour in a minute so that you can see. I'll do this quite big, but you can make them really quite small. You can make them kind of whatever size you like. So coming up top left, I'm going to go down diagonally to the bottom right to form a diagonal. Then I'm going to come up directly above that top right and go down bottom left. So we start with cross stitch like that. Then I want to come up right at the top like that, and we're going to do another cross stitch, but we're going to do it horizontally and vertically. So I'm going to go there across the centre, top to bottom, and then I want to come up west and go across to east, and that is it really for star stitch. Now sometimes I like to just come up right at the centre and put a little teeny tiny stitch, almost like a couching stitch, over the centre to just hold that in place, but we make a little star like that. So let me show you that again up nice and close. So top left to bottom right, top right to bottom left, and then we want to go north to south, and then east to west. And we can leave it like that, or if you want to, you can just put a little holding stitch across the centre just to maintain the star. So you can vary it a little bit if you want to. So you could make your cross stitch kind of shallow, don't know how much shallower that is. You can make a much bigger vertical cross. So let's do a really long stitch. a bit like that. So you can play with the proportions a little bit if you want to and vary it, but that essentially is it for star stitch. So it's 2 cross stitches sitting on top of each other and rotated 45 degrees. So you've got a vertical one and a diagonal one, and that is star stitch. So nice easy one to play with. And yeah, I'm going to have a think and let's make something peachy. Okay, here's my felt for today. Lovely sort of Marley peach colour. Been looking forward to using this one. Not a colour I use very often at all. I did have a quick Google of peach and oval, and what came up surprised me. And yeah, I wonder if you can guess. So I've done myself a bit of a template here. So I've printed out an oval shape that is the right size, so I've kind of roughly sized it. I will say I feel like this is going to be a little bit cobbled together because I don't really have the right materials for this, and I don't really have a clear idea of how I'm going to use star stitch, but we're just going to give it a whirl and hope for the best. So I'm going to cut myself out 2 ovals out of this peach linen. You can do this with bond web if you like. I'm just going to live dangerously and go for it without. Just use a bit of fabric glue. Look, the colour of the fabric is even called peach. It couldn't be more appropriate, could it? So even as I'm cutting these out, I've already spotted an error that I've made. Because I'm just kind of making it up as I'm going along. So I wonder if you can guess what I'm going to make. It will not be immediately obvious, but hopefully it will become apparent fairly rapidly. Right, I'm just going to fold this oval in half. Because I want a hole in the middle of it. Right, so I'm going to draw around it again and take out that middle. I'm going to do that for both of them. And if I'm careful, I can take this out in one piece, so it will remain a usable piece of fabric. So I've just folded it, cut across the end, and that means I can get my scissors in. Probably don't need 2 ovals. I might actually end up only using 1. And ideally you'd do this in like a peach metallic, but I only have 1 peach metallic and I'm using it already for a different part. I didn't want it to be all the same. So peach metallic thread or peach metallic fabric would be good for this one, but I don't have, other than the one I've already decided to use. So we will do what we can. Right, so let's get some fabric glue. That's very scruffily cut out. Oh, shame on me. Hopefully with a bit of stitching it'll all be okay. Right, the reason I've done 2 is that I want to create a bit of perspective. I want it to look more 3-dimensional, which I think that does achieve that. So I'm just going to go with it, see what happens. I'm sure there was a way of cutting out one piece to make it look three-dimensional, but then I wouldn't be using an oval. So here's my oval. Jolly good. It's deliberately off centre. That's not a mistake. It's deliberately off centre. Right. Now, I have got a little piece of peach metallic. I was just talking about it, and I fused onto the back a little bit of fusible fleece. So this is an interfacing. It's often used in bag making, and it's a medium weight one. I've just fused it onto the back because I have a second oval that I'm going to cut out, and I'm going to draw around it. And I'm hoping this will kind of give it away when I position this. So I'm going to pop that on there. Can you tell what it is yet? I'm going to make a ring because I never make stuff like this. And when I googled peach oval, what came up was a load of really quite beautiful rings. And it's a particular stone, particular crystal. The stone I saw is called morganite. Google it, it's beautiful. But you can also get sapphires that are peach. They're very rare. It's called Padparachka sapphire, if I'm pronouncing that like an idiot. I do apologise. They are peachy coloured, and I thought, yeah, I never do anything that's this kind of style, and I thought it would be fun. So that's what I'm going to do. Right, I have here, against my better judgment after last week, some Raj Mahal art silk, because it is the shimmeriest thread I have that is peach coloured. And I'm just going to thread up a needle with a single strand. Needle's too big really, but we'll make it work. Let's put a dab of glue on the back of that so that it holds in place. I don't really want to put a pin in it because it's lame and pins tend to take fibres out of lame. So I'm just going to do a little applique stitch. So up through both layers, down through just the fabric. So normally I would come up through both layers and go down through just the backing, but with metallic fabrics they don't like it, and what tends to happen is as you push your needle up through, you will remove fibres and you'll end up with streaks in your fabric. So they work much better if you take your needle down through them, and then any fibres that are dislodged will push the back and you won't notice them. So little applique stitches up through just the felt, tucked in right against the edge. I'm not worrying that I can see the fleece because we're going to disguise that. So like a peach metallic perle would be gorgeous. So Madeira do some beautiful metallic perle threads that are really nice to stitch with, but I don't have one in peach. Right, so I want the ring to appear to be rose gold, so I'm going to use my Raj Mahal art silk for that because it's as shimmery as I'm going to get. I wonder if I've got some blending filament actually that I could mix in. Bear with. Right, this is the closest I've got. It does have some peachy flecks in it, but I do realise I'm stretching it. So this is a Krynic blending filament, shade 045. And what you do with this is you mix it in with other threads. So I'm hoping that if I mix it in with my silk, it's not actual silk, it's a viscose thread, but if I mix it in with my art silk, I'm hoping that it's going to make everything a bit more metallic looking, because I'm hoping that I can make it look a little bit like rose gold, because that's kind of peachy colour, isn't it? Is that stretching it? Maybe. I don't know. Taking liberties. I don't know. Right, so what I thought I would do is use star stitch to create the ring, and although it is 2 layers, I know my stitches are going to cover up quite a lot of the fabric, but there will be bits of it showing through. And I'm hoping that the stars are going to make it look kind of sparkly. That's the kind of feel I want to go for. So it'll either work or it won't. I think I am going to have to, because I'm working on strange angles, I'm going to have to put a little catching stitch over the top in the centre. But it'll give the sense of sparkle, I'm hoping. We'll see if it works or not. So do my vertical cross first. I'm just going to follow the oval around, and then my diagonal cross, using the edges of the fabric to guide the placement of my stitches. So up at the centre, a little hop over to catch them down in the middle. Well, I do quite like that already. Look, it's quite sweet. So turn my work a little bit and make my next stitch, and that blending filament doesn't look too awful. I did have some gold as well, but oh, it's all falling apart. Look, she did too, and it's all falling apart already. Blending filament's temperamental as well. Why do I do it to myself? On camera as well. Oh dear. Right, let me just work out what on earth is going on. I think all I've done is double up the blending filament. I don't think there's a problem. I think I just hadn't pulled through enough. Yeah, that's right. Or have I pulled it out completely? Maybe I've pulled it out. Oh dear. Oh, the shame. I think we're all right. And I think it's going to be okay. So we can see this as like cartoon style sparkles, or as like engraving on the ring itself. I do like a ring with a bit of something on it. I think if you're going to have bling, you might as well do it properly. And I don't have a lot of bling. I don't really do bling, but if I did bling, I would do full-on bling. I wish I was blingier. I don't know why I don't do it. I think my problem is, oh, this is me getting a bit vulnerable. Oh, skip if you're not interested. I don't really like being looked at, which is why I prefer doing sort of top down, overhead. I'm not in the video tutorials because I don't really like being on show. And I have said this before, and I got a flood of comments saying, but you were a teacher for 20 years and surely that's people looking at you all the time. I don't know why it's different, but it's different when it's young people rather than your peers. I found any time I had to stand up in front of the staff, I would find that just unbearably difficult. So I can teach classes of teenagers with no difficulty whatsoever. But being looked at by my peers, I find really difficult. And so I feel like if I wear bling, people will notice me. And I don't like the idea of that. So that's why I don't wear bling. Get over it. You're 50. Yeah, maybe I need to just do it. Who knows? Or maybe I just accept that I'm just not a blingy person and be content. Never know what's quite right. I suppose it's what's motivating your avoidance of something, isn't it? And I haven't yet quite identified whether my avoidance of bling is a good or bad thing. So who knows? My journey of self-discovery continues. Oh my goodness, it's like an episode of Oprah. Before this goes any further, I'm going to just set up my next needleful and I will stitch the rest of those in off camera, and then I'll come back and I'm going to embellish this stone so that it looks more blingy. So I'm going to go maximum bling today. Very unlike me. Right, so I will be back shortly when I've put the rest of my star stitches in place. Right, I've pulled out some peachy coloured beads. So I've got some that are darker peach and some that are paler. And I thought we could put a ring of beads around. I was going to alternate them, but I'm now thinking maybe I should do 2 circuits of beads. So just coming up through the felt, picking up a bead. I wanted faceted ones, and so that's what these are. The peachy ones are just seed beads, so they're kind of round. And I don't think they're going to give the sparkle that I really wanted. So let's do an outline. This is why I wasn't worried about the fusible fleece showing, because I had in mind that we were going to put a ring of something different around the outside that would cover it up. That's already quite blingy, isn't it? I've put 5 on. I'm just going to put a knot on the back so that if my thread breaks, I don't lose everything. And I'll just carry on like that.
I've just jumped back in because I wanted to remind you that this isn't the only stitch along that I'm running at the moment. I also have a project called Postcards from the Hedge. Now this started over on a platform called Ko-fi back in January, but I have just started it through YouTube memberships, so you can join in without leaving the platform. We make a fabric postcard each week, all inspired by things from the British countryside. I have lost count of the number of textile art techniques we've covered. There's a bit of everything. So if you want to develop your textile art skills, if you want to make some interesting semi-realistic postcards and learn 101 different textile art techniques, then this is the project for you. You can join membership of this channel from as little as 99p a month, but Postcards from the Hedge project starts at £3.99 a month. There are different tiers. I will link a video up here so that you can go and find out a little bit more about the project and see all of the postcards from the first 6 months of the project. And you can go to the main page of this channel and click on memberships to find out a little bit more. So I hope you will join in with that project. It is a ton of fun, but I will head back to my studio and let's see what the next stage is in our stitch along.
There we go. Oh, it's looking good so far. Right, I'm going to put another ring of beads in this darker shade just inside those. So I'm going to carry on and put in the rest. Let me bring it up close so you can see. I'm going to go around and put in the rest of these beads, and then we'll add a couple more stitches to our stone, and then we'll mostly be done, I think. Okay, I've just sketched in another oval inside the last one because I wanted to put some stitches that made it look a little bit faceted, so you could, if you wanted to, put star stitches around, but I thought what I would do is just do some straight stitches radiating out to the outside edge. So this is a Natalie Stewart thread. I used one of these a little while ago, I think. Natalie Stewart is she does hand-dyed threads and yarns and sells on Etsy, and I think they're pretty small batches, so the idea is that once the batch is gone, it's gone. And this is a sort of peachy, multicoloured, variegated thread. It's a cotton one, so again, I kind of wish I had a perlé or something like that, but I thought if we happen to catch a bit of variegation on this, variegation tends to make things look a little bit lustrous, like light is catching in different ways. So I thought we'd try that. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. And I think I'll just running stitch around here and do the space between every other stitch, just to help create that sense of facets. Don't know whether it'll work or not, but I'm trying to stick to my own rules and only use running stitch and the chosen stitch. We've got loads of star stitch on here. You could put loads of star stitches around in the blank space if you want to. I think I'm going to leave it. Be really interested to see what you come up with. I'm absolutely confident there's going to be some epic creations in the Facebook group. I do love looking, and it has been quite busy. Life changes quite a lot for me in the summer holidays when Rick and my daughter are off school, so it's just have to snatch moments to get my work done wherever I can. So I'm not as consistent over the summer. That looks a bit faceted, doesn't it? And it kind of breaks up the way that the light reflects on the fabric, which is what facets do. sort of break the reflections and make everything look a little bit more glittery and sparkly. So I'm going to take away my pen marks. Let's just bring it up close. I'm going to take away my pen marks and trim that back, and then we'll pop it in the book. Right, there's our problematic loops from last week. Right, let's get this one in the book. Bit of glue, like that. Oh, I need to check the date because I can't remember. I think it's the 10th of the 8th, 25. Did I put 8th last year? Yeah, just had a sudden thought that I'd put the 7th. So that's our little Morganite ring. Morganite? Is that what it's called? Is that what I said earlier? Can't remember. If not, I'll correct it at the bottom of the screen. And we have peach. Oval was our shape. And star stitch was our featured stitch. So that is our prompt for this week. Really looking forward to seeing what you create. Don't forget to share your creations in our private Facebook group, and as always there's a link to that in the description below. You can also share on Instagram using hashtag FSHWingingIt2025, and if you do that, don't forget to tag me at Feather Stitch House, and that way I'm more likely to see what you create. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy the weather and the outdoors wherever you are, and I will be back soon with our next pick. Take care. See you soon. Bye.